Budget 2026, the growth agenda.
We are in conversation with Mr. Market. You can call him that because he eats, sleeps, breathes market. He's literally the face of the Indian capital markets, if you will, Mr. Raamdeo Agrawal. And post-budget, I think it's important to get his perspective on what he made of the budget, of all the recent things that have happened, and the outlook ahead. Mr. Agrawal, great having you. Great being here. Thank you so much for talking to us.
No, nice to see you again.
Yes, likewise, sir. What did you make of the budget? Do you want to give it a rating? Do you want to give it a number? Or do you just want to talk about what are the key highlights according to you?
Yeah. Brilliant job, but communicated very badly.
Okay.
I mean, particularly the stock market guys. By doing that, 10-12,000 crores is nothing in this size of the budget. 50-60 lakh crores you're talking about. You're talking about Viksit Bharat. You're talking about tax break for 22 years. I mean, such big things are there in that. And then suddenly you do that small thing, spooky thing, STT, this. I think that was mindless, but otherwise it's a brilliant budget.
Okay. What gives you this impression about it being a brilliant budget? The cornerstone?
Yeah, so one is that one is the financial prudence. See, government is running a budget, the expenditure and income and how you are running the balance sheet, how you are, at what level your borrowings are there. So that shows the responsibility with which government is moving. They can also be very reckless and things like that. But they're saying, okay, we'll do debt to GDP from 56% to 50% over 2, 3, 4 years period. So that's a very good thought because that leaves a lot of space for the private sector. Second, if you see the ferocity, I mean, I'm most impressed by the ferocity with which the government has moved to give the tax break to, for setting up data centers, the tax break. One is the size and second is the conviction, and then of course that, 15% for GCCs and all. What they call it, you can have certainty of how much taxation will be there. They use some
the sunset.
No, not sunset. I think they have called it. So there is a almost like a certainty that how you will be taxed. So I think there are a lot of reforms like that which are far-reaching in character, and even the capex boom, which last year was 11.5 lakh crores, now it is 12 lakh plus crores. So everything is in place, and expected GDP growth, nominal GDP growth is more upwards of 10%. I think it's almost like 11%. If I did my numbers right, 394 lakh crores against 354 lakh crores. So that's quite a good number. And to achieve, which last year they couldn't achieve, this thing was a credit flow. The credit, I mean, that will come in now next RBI policy because that's not part of the budget. But to achieve 10.5-11% nominal GDP growth rate, they have to have a very good credit flow of 13, 14, 15%. Hopefully inflation doesn't spike, So my sense is the year 25, 26, 27 will start with a bang. You have a very good fiscal concessions in last budget. Then we have a dramatic GST cut in November, December. So you are given direct taxes, you are given indirect taxes, and now the third, which is mother of all, actually bigger than these two, is the credit flow. So now credit flow has been restored from 9-10% to 13-14% because that only can get you 10.5-11% nominal GDP growth rate, and with that you'll get your taxation, tax collection, you'll get your fiscal, you'll remain within that. The only joker in the pack, which nobody knows, is how inflation will behave. If inflation remains below 4%, I think we are really Goldilocks economy.
That's what they've penciled in, and in some sense, some bit of an uptick in inflation might be desirable to.
No, we must go up to that, so that otherwise, if you are 11% nominal GDP and if your inflation remains actually at 2%, then your real growth will be 9%. I don't think we are there. I think we will go at about 8%. I think my sense is we'll definitely cross 7.5% kind of situation in the at least next 12 months. Looks like that.
You laying a fair degree of importance of growth. We saw that yesterday as well in the gathering that we had, right? Do you sense telltale signs by credit growth, auto sales, etc., that growth could actually surprise on the upside? Because thus far, growth has done that. Yeah. Most economists have not been able to predict growth. Most market people have.
I asked my own economist.
Exactly.
She again said 6.5. Let's see what comes.
Okay.
But my sense will be 8.5 times, 9.
Wow.
Because you have pumped so much of credit in last 40 days. You have pumped 10, 12 lakh crores. This is unprecedented what is going on in the monetary markets. And yet the yield is spiking. So it has some other problem in terms of availability of liquidity. Deposits are not circulating and all kinds of problems are there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a number around the gross borrowing as well is something that...
But that's a small spike. I don't know why market was so touchy. My sense is that market didn't like the STT stuff.
Yes.
So they started selling. In any case, backdrop was already this gold and silver debacle had already happened, where it was down by 20-25%. Right. So in any case, mood was bad because the guys who are in commodity market and stock market, they're same. It's on the same screen. So clearly, those guys were suffering from that. At our place, guys were short in commodities, just to tell you that.
Okay.
So, but the mood was bad about the commodities, and then on top of it, this STT, this irritant comes. You know,
right.
I would call it irritant because it is a very small thing, and actually for investors, it doesn't matter at all.
Right. Agreed.
It is only for the speculators, which is they have touched it. So, and once market started going down, then nothing looks good. You know, all the commentators, they come and even I was very peaceful right till that provisions came. And then suddenly this thing came and it spoiled the mood. And I don't know how much impact it will have, because I'm scared about what's happening in other parts of the world. Today, I think Korea is down 5-6%.
Yeah.
Last week, Indonesia was down 10-12%.
Yeah.
So I said, this is not the time we should be actually taking panga with any of these investors, whether domestic as well as foreigners.
Completely.
This is the time to, time to stay away from them and don't irritate them. In any case, earnings are not there. There's a big challenge about the earnings growth, and FIs are selling. So this is a time to stay a bit more cautious.
Sir, a couple of technical factors. I'm just putting in the markets in between and then again coming back to the budget and some provisions. I want to know a bit about data centers for sure from you. But just a couple of technical provisions, Mr. Agrawal, that Korea is down today because the AI trade seems to be just at the margin unraveling a little bit. And everybody is saying that India is the classic anti-AI trade. If the AI trade reverses, India could actually benefit.
So the story can change every day. this is the way you are putting the story. Because market is up. If market was down 3%, you would have said that we are following the world.
That's true.
So it's all, the way whether ticker is green or red, that decides how we are commenting.
No, but broadly the belief is that if money was chasing AI and if the money stops going towards AI, the non-AI plays might benefit.
No, that makes solid sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
So if that were to happen, plus maybe the trade deal with the US, if it were to come about,
they'll all happen. They will all happen. Just we have to have a little patience. We want everything happen yesterday. No, it will take its own time. Maybe weeks, maybe few months. So you have to have that patience while economy is doing well. See, economy is rocking at about 7.5%, 8%. So how does it matter? This agreement is not signed or that agreement is not signed. If it comes, it will be yet another tailwind. But today, I don't think by signing that trade deal, you are going to go from 7.5% to 8.5% growth. No.
Sure.
It will be at 7.5% only. Maybe it will become another 20 basis points. But it gives a psychological, kind of comfort that India is rocking. India is welcome everywhere. Our businessmen are this thing, and they can also come in. We can do the trade. I think the impact of EU deal is far-reaching. It is not. See, these deals are not going to impact in 6 months or 1 year, but as you go along in 3, 4, 5 years time, I think so. I'm looking at the earnings growth for next 5 years, not for the next quarter.
Agreed, sir.
But so if I can double my earnings in next 5 years by exports or domestic demand and all, I think we will do very well.
But sir, one of the pieces is that while the economy is doing well, the capital markets have been stumped. Worst performing market dollar terms 2025.
Yes.
YTD is not that great either. Should the budget have done something positive for the capital markets? And is there something that should be done for the capital markets? Economy अच्छा कर रहा है.
Yeah.
Capital markets के लिए क्या कर सकते हैं?
See, then you have to listen to the people whom you want to entice. I'm very fine. I'm an investor. Nothing has happened. The buyback they talked about, but that's useless in the sense that I'm a promoter. My status remains same. So if I'm not doing buyback, I'm not doing buyback. But so it is irrelevant for me. So that's how they open up a subject, but they don't do a good job. They've not done a good job there. I sincerely think they've not done a good job. It's a wasted opportunity. Either you don't open the Pandora box. When you open it, then you do it properly. So that's one. Second is your this STT thing. I think that needs to be kind of rethinking, if at all. More intelligent. I mean, directionally, I'm for it. Less speculation by the unintelligent people or common man. That is the objective, yes. But there are much better ways of doing it. See, the professional traders with a lot of liquidity and all, when they come, that actually imparts a lot of liquidity to the market. It does a lot of good to the market. And without them, a large amount of even investing by the mutual funds, domestic mutual fund, is also not possible. What will happen is the market becomes illiquid, the bid and ask becomes very wide, and that is actually that cost is much higher for all the mutual fund investors. So the speculators have a role to play, and the organized speculators who are global, who have global balance sheets, if they come with sophisticated technology and they impart liquidity, I think we should facilitate that rather than discourage them. But I also don't want my small guys from village or tier 2, tier 3 towns to get burnt into this particular fire.
Right.
For that, there are many ways. You can say that, okay, if your net worth is less than 2 crores, you're not allowed to do it in F&O. So there are many ways. Because of digital infrastructure, you can do a lot of this risk, kind of profiling. Let
the big guys fight against each other on the options market.
Yeah, okay. I mean, the guys who you don't care about.
Yeah.
The big guys, like a net worth whose net worth is 1,000 crores, let him do whatever he wants to do. In any case, he will do what he wants to do.
Yeah.
You can't stop him. If you stop him in here, he will go to crypto, he will go to some casino, he will go to some currency. There are many ways you can speculate.
That's true.
Why just restrict him? Why become such a moral kind of inspector or something like that?
Got it. So what is maybe underappreciated, because it's now being done so often, because this government has shown this towing the line of fiscal discipline so well and gotten the ratings positives, is that they're sticking to that in a year, post a year of GST cuts and income tax cuts, right? Would you have rather, because there was talk, that let the fiscal glide path slip a little bit, but give more money for capex? Are you of that camp, or do you believe this is a better thing?
No, I think they're better. And see, I mean, growing at about 7% plus, in truly in an inclusive way, if you grow anywhere around 7.5% with an inflation of 3-4%, that's the most ideal situation to happen. Why particular industry is not doing well when this is doing, when the economy is growing at 7.5-8%? That could be a very micro issue or something like that. But otherwise, I think we can't ask for more in this situation. So it's a Goldilocks, and the world is burning. The world is very volatile. We are very peaceful here. My forex is at $700 billion plus, despite all the problems. Okay, we have lost some parity with dollar when the dollar itself is weak against the rest of the world. So that needs to be seen because of this treaty and all which is happening. And so that's geopolitical. I have no view on that. Whenever it happens, it happens. But I think we are moving in the right direction. Most of the geographies of the world, we are going to have trade deal. That's what Minister was telling me.
Yeah.
And that too very shortly. So by end of this year, 2026, I think we should be very well aligned with the whole world. We are the most complying country, very nice land of Buddha, and no IPR, this thing. We are friends to everybody.
Yeah.
So I think this is a country, everybody wants to have friendship. It is the weakest currency, lowest cost, most brilliant people in the world. I think it's rocking.
आपको मार्केट में तेजी दिखती है सर 5 साल?
मेरे को हमेशा ही तेजी दिखती है.
हाँ, but इस बार थोड़ा अलग दिख रहा है. Is the setup looking like 2003 to 2007?
इतना बड़ा नहीं दिख रहा है.
इतना बड़ा नहीं.
Because see, 2003 to 2008, for that you need a global growth to rock. But actually global growth is rocking. Despite the news items, US is growing at 3.5-4%.
Exactly, that's size.
So actually the world is growing very well. World wealth creation is happening very rapid pace. But right now hiccup is there. So I remain positive. And this AI could be bigger than China. See, 2003 to 2008 was rise of China.
Right.
Can the AI I mean, if you listen to NVIDIA or Satya Nadella or even Elon Musk, if all three, if anybody knows AI, they know AI or future of AI. They are saying, Huang, you listen to him in WEF, Davos, and he's saying that this is the humanity's biggest capex boom, build out. Humanity's biggest. And we were not participating. This budget has at least made us participate.
For the data center thing.
For the data center thing. So, I think, budget can do only that much. And let's see how things roll out, how the entrepreneurs, they participate, how the global private equity funds, they come and set up big data centers here. So, it's all in progress. You know, this AI thing is unfolding. I mean, it is being... The biggest debate is whether AI is a bubble or, it's real. So AI itself is, I think, real.
Yes.
The issue is that the investment and the excitement around that could be premature, Maybe, I mean, we know, we underestimate the impact in the future and overestimate in the short term. That might again repeat, what happened when internet came. I mean, without internet, there is nothing.
Yeah, agree.
Today, India is one because of internet.
Yeah, sure.
20 years back, internet was not there only. So that is the kind of impact AI is going to have. Now, are we patient enough to wait for that, the fruits of AI to come, or are we worried about just 10-20%, decline or correction in the market?
Got it. So therefore, if 2026, a number of things, a potential trade deal with the US, right, on the anvil, if the AI trade were to cool off a little bit, maybe optimism for India, but it's also an election year. Yeah. We have 5 state elections in the month of May.
That is yet another story. Yeah. You guys will start rolling out, what happens in election.
No, sir, but we've seen now that populism is a real thing across states. And there are 5 states, 4 of which are opposition states. Could that bring about any kind of nervousness in the market until that gets clean? Because then it's a clean calendar.
We are already living the full nervousness. And that was further kind of complicated by yesterday's provisions of the STT and all. So that's what we are saying. We are tired of this volatility. Don't give any new reason, at least man-made reason. To be volatile.
But then how does 2026 shape up, sir? Now that the budget is also out of the way. You think after the underperformance in 2025?
It's all about after GST2 cut, now it's all about the credit flow. If the credit flow remains at 14-15%, because credit is like ATF. When you grow at, instead of 10%, you grow at 15, on 200 lakh crores, you're talking about 10 lakh crores additional.
Right.
Now 10 lakh crores is 3% of GDP. You put in the hands of the people who have bought things. See, credit, there's a difference between credit and income. Income, I give you, instead of 1 crore, I give you 2 crores. You may not spend anything out of that. But credit, when you give 10 lakh crores credit, it is after you have spent. It is to facilitate your spending. So
which you will spend.
And it's immediate, So I think the power of credit, which was kind of withdrawn last year, it was very muted last year because of this election and all. We brought down the credit flow from 16-17% to 9-10%. And that actually slowed down the earnings big time. I mean, earnings could have been much better otherwise. Now, being restored, now the delta is going to be, because on the slowed down earning, you pump the credit to higher level, so you get double whammy.
Got it.
You see a big shootout in the earnings. The companies which benefit, you will see 40-50% earnings growth.
Wow. Yeah. And what spaces? I mean, could these be the lenders? Could it be
all
consumption focused?
All interest sensitive. And then there's a multiplier effect. You might have seen Nestle earnings, 18% top line growth, 25-30% earnings growth. So those things are now, now consumption will spike.
Got it.
Now consumption will spike. But the policy making should not be very jerky. When you are saying, you must give actually guidance of credit growth also. Given this thing, inflation of, our monetary policy has said 4% is around 4% should be the inflation. So why do you go down to 1%? And kill the economy. So I think the prudent management of the economy, keeping inflation anywhere between 3 to 4%, and then allowing the credit growth at a reasonable level of 14-15%, and build the economy at about 7 to 8% kind of thing. That is what is going to give the trajectory of earnings growth of about 12, 13, 14%. And my multiple is already corrected to 2021.
Yeah.
So I'm not being optimistic nor pessimistic on the multiple. The earnings growth of 12, 13% in index will give me that return in 6 years.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. And maybe, as we tend to do in good times, we tend to overshoot as well. So who knows, the earnings growth will be even stronger.
It's not going to happen straight. First, it might go down and then it might shoot up. The end game could be where we want to be.
Okay. A couple of things on the budget. I have seen that you have observed this data center piece probably very closely. Yeah, very differently.
Because I'm reading a book.
Yeah, okay. So tell us a bit about what did you make of this announcement? Because you seem to be very chuffed about it. 22 years, tax holiday, etc.
Yeah. So, see, first thing is that I'm more excited about the AI itself.
Got it.
Because I'm reading biography of NVIDIA and the thinking machine. You read that, it's a non-stop reader, in the sense that in 3 days you'll finish it up.
Okay.
So that will make you understand what kind of thing is likely to happen. The world is going to change. It's like saying yet another form of internet is coming. Much more powerful internet. So internet changed everything. When internet came, it came very slowly. It looked like we didn't have phone only. Forget about internet. First phone came. First mobile phone came in 2000, 2002, 2003. Bharti got listed in 2003. Right. We started getting cell phone in hand. By 2010, we had 500-600 million, 700 million phones. So everybody was at least connected by telephone. In 2009-10, the smartphone started coming in, where internet could be pumped.
Yes.
So when the internet became mobile, that was a real revolution. When you have the data flowing on your hand, and now 70-80% of the trading in stock market happens through the
phone,
phones. So now the phone has become the most popular mode of communication or data flow. So what is happening is that what was not existent, you started giving licenses of mobile phones in 95, 96. So in 25 years, how much has happened? The phones came, the internet came, both got merged, and today you have a wonderful machine. And the speed is continuously growing. So now with AI, it will further get accelerated. What all it can do, I cannot visualize. I'm not a science fiction kind of guy, but I think potential of AI in the longer run is immense in every aspect of it, whether it is healthcare, whether it is logistics, whether it is all kinds of radiologists and all. Already, radiology is being read almost 100% by AI now with far bigger accuracy.
Sure.
So one of the best thing what Huang is saying is that when you ask him that it is going to take away job, you guys are mad. It is going to create jobs and jobs and jobs. That's what he's saying. That radiologists, now instead of going to radiologist, you must put your X-ray onto the AI. The job of a radiologist is not to see the scan. It's only a task. So that he can take care of some other problem for which you say you got a fever. For that he has taken a scan. So the task is to take the scan, but the job is to take care of your fever. And for that, now the radiologists have become far more powerful. So the world is needing more radiologists than less. Okay. So he is saying that there is so much of jobs all over for building data centers, cables, you're plumbing, you're building that damn thing. Power. Now you need the power. So much of power is required. So he's saying that this is in humanity's largest capital build-up, and in that we are completely missing out. Here is the step.
And you think that whole ecosystem will benefit in India as a result?
See, this is at least the first step, very aggressive one. Means what I'm saying is what I can see, government is aligned. The step is aligned.
Right.
Now, how the entrepreneurs will play, how the global the data center guys, hyperscalers, they play it out, and then our guys piling onto them. Let's see what happens.
Got it. Final couple of questions, Mr. Agrawal. So, if we were to see this credit growth or credit flow linked growth in 2026, 2027, you already told me that rate sensitives will benefit. What will, aside of that, what leads higher? Data center is one play, which is a budget stemmed play. What else do you think is at front and center? Does auto, for example, or CVs within auto have a up cycle ahead of us?
You see the December numbers. I live by the numbers. See, now stock market is not about the stories. It's all about data. You know, you can say that this industry looks very good, but there's no growth. This company is very good, but it earns only 12%. So you give me 15, 20%, 25% plus ROE, 25% growth, and give me a 10, 12 P or 15 P. So the terminal value can be assessed in a much more intelligent way. It's all about terminal value.
That's true.
You know, and if there is no data flow, how do I figure it out? And whether you are a SME listed somewhere, you still have the data flow.
That's true.
Earlier, if it is a small company, nobody used to bother because there is no research coverage. But today with the screener and all, you can see telco and some $100 million company in the same kind of a scanner.
That's true.
So a retail investor is actually very, very powerful. He has time. He must read books and use the framework. Develop your own framework. What works for you? Of course, there are gurus and gurus. So develop your own framework, and data flow is there. And mint money, not make money, mint money.
Guru, one final thing, Mr. Agrawal. Are you changing your investing framework? And the reason I'm asking this to you is because of a few things, right? पहले मुझे पता आप बोलते थे कि while you look at numbers, आप promoter को पूछते हो कहानी क्या है. Now you are telling me today that now is the time for data. I'm sure अभी भी आप कहानी पूछते होंगे, but now is the time for data.
कहानी supported by data.
कहानी supported by data, but data at the forefront. AI, you're saying, is likely to change the world, and you are thinking about it that way. And plus, it's a very different world. From a collaborative world, we've now gone to countries trying to do what they are own. At least the US is leading the world to think like that, right? Are you changing your investment framework?
No. If framework needs to be changed, then what is the framework? It has to be timeless. See, QGLP is a timeless. Now, what companies you fit in, what data you fit in, that's your problem. See, instead of, say, if I was looking 10 things for deciding quality of company, maybe I'll look at 2 more. But top quality business, top quality management, growing, and available at reasonable price. That's the game.
Okay, perfect. Great. Mr. Agrawal, lovely talking to you. Thank you so much for the insight. Thank you for that book as well. I'm sure a lot of readers will now pick up that copy.
Amazing book. You must go and read that book.
Yeah.
Thinking Machine.
Thinking Machine.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, great. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And viewers, thanks for tuning in to yet another insightful conversation with Mr. Raamdeo Agrawal.
Budget 2026, the growth agenda.